Hey everybody, it's Antonio with another daily reminder for you. And this is a pretty cool effect here. I think this is pretty awesome actually. And it's actually visually representative of what I wanted to talk about today. And that thing is authenticity. And authenticity can look like a lot of different things, especially when you're in the space of being in the public, or doing Facebook lives, or creating products, or providing services, or anything of that nature. Just interacting with anyone on the outside of you is always going to be one of the areas where authenticity is a part of the conversation that you have within yourself, the balance that you create about who you are and who you're showing up as. And there's a really interesting exercise that you guys may want to consider. It's called the Johari window, and I think it's Johari. It's called the Johari window, and it really helps you to kind of identify who you are, not only to yourself, but who you're showing up as other people may see you. Because what we do is that we have ourselves, who we are, and then we have who we show up as. And sometimes those things may not be congruent for a whole multitude of reasons. And a lot of that can cause disruption in our own peace of mind. It can cause disruption in our interactions with other people. It can cause disruption with our own personal success, because we might be putting on, or we might have a layer, if you will, of who we think we need to be in front of who we really are. And that's why I love this image, because it kind of shows that there's different layers here. And that's kind of how we show up in the world. And where you'll find the most peace in your life is by peeling back those layers and being authentically who you are in every environment, with the understanding, with the knowing that who you are is always enough. And who you are is always going to be good enough. And if it's not, then you're probably not in the right environment. That's the thing that you really want to get. It has nothing to do with you not being enough. It has nothing to do with any lack thereof in your being. It has to do with you possibly being in the wrong environment, where you feel that you have to have these layers to protect yourself. You feel you have to have these layers to hide who you really are. And that's, again, it can be a challenge, because we may have come up in an environment where we couldn't be ourselves. We may have been made fun of because we liked certain things. I remember a really interesting scenario years ago. I was in a different neighborhood, and I was going into this group of guys that I knew. I knew these guys, and there was one guy in particular who said, "Yeah, here comes Antonio. I'm pretty sure he's been off into some computers and shit." That was the exact phrases. I'm sure he's been off into some computers and shit. Now, here's the thing. I was a nerd, and I've always been a nerd my entire life. And they were right. I was off into some computers and shit. But here's the thing. In that environment, it wasn't cool to be smart. It wasn't cool to be smart. So it was looked down upon. And here's the thing. If I wasn't confident in who I was, if I wasn't confident in what I knew and what I loved, because I loved computers. I thank my mom every time I can. She got me exposure to computers at a very, very young age. So when a lot of kids were outside running around, playing and doing a lot of things, I was on the computer. I was programming. I taught myself basic language, and I was doing a lot of stuff on that Tandy 2000 that I had. I'm probably dating myself, because you guys probably have no idea what a Tandy 2000 is. But anyway, the point is that I remember that situation, because I did feel bad initially. I did feel bad. I felt there was something wrong with me because I liked computers. I felt there was something wrong with me because that was the thing that really brought me joy. but I was able to find some peace in who I was and stay in that. But that, unfortunately, is typically, that's not the norm. It's more the exception to the norm. What typically happens is that most kids will get caught up in, oh no, man, I wasn't on computers, I wasn't doing anything like that, man, you know, and then they end up having to find another layer to filter who they are in that environment. And you know, sometimes that can be beneficial to put up a layer, but unfortunately, those layers end up being permanent. A lot of times those layers end up being permanent, and they end up really defining who you are, and then you'll find that you've completely lost yourself. You've lost the joy that you've had in life. You've lost the joys and the things that you that bring you peace, that bring you excitement. I remember asking this one young lady, you know, I asked her, you know, well, what do you enjoy? She goes, you know what? I don't know. I don't know. And I understood where it came from, because she had been a wife and had been a mom. And a lot of times you'll hear this, more so from women than men. You'll hear that women will lose themselves in relationships and parenting more so than men will. So now you have another scenario where having to find that other layer has almost become who you are, and you've lost yourself. You no longer know what brings you joy. You no longer know what's exciting to you, what's fun to you. And that's where you start losing peace in your life. That's where you start losing the joy in your life. So with that said, guys, the reminder today is to peel back those layers and get to know you. Get to know you. And what I'm going to do is, boom, turn that off. Peel back those layers, guys, to be able to reconnect with who you are. Be able to reconnect with the things that bring you joy on whatever level that might be. But starting there and then taking it even further, and then again creating that authenticity in every area of your life, and maybe even considering what areas that you don't feel you can be authentic may or may not be the best areas for you to stay. So anyway, I always appreciate you guys joining me. Thanks for chiming in here. Always remember to like, heart, share, comment. Always love to hear you guys' comments about these daily reminders, and I will of course keep them coming. So another reminder, yes, like, comment, and share, guys. All right, with that, take care, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I'll be talking with you soon. Peace.